For my review of Doom Eternal, I picked a level about halfway through the campaign because it is the level that they demoed the game with the reveal trailer on the full boss station. And it kind of highlights something that is really, really weird. So the intro plays out the same way that the trailer did, with some better red lighting this time, and the option to have subtitles on. As you wander through the base, and people are like, the Doomslayer's here. Which in itself is good characterization, because you get a good impression for the character you're playing as without you saying a single word. Which, the Doomslayer doesn't really talk, so it's kind of handy. But it's what happens at the end of it is just weird. Oh, my suit of armor's on fire because I got the deluxe edition as well. No, that isn't on fire. But yeah, the game feels like it's rushed. Like they had some ideas for what they wanted to do, and then they couldn't quite get them all to mesh together. Because here, we take this guy's plasma rifle off him. There's no reason for us to do that because we're halfway through the campaign, and you get the plasma rifle on the 3rd level. I mean, in this save file I have all of the guns, but yeah, you get the plasma rifle within like an hour of playing the game.
The power source of the BFG 10,000 should be of interest to you as well.
But it feels like they kind of made things like that, where you get your little demo of getting your plasma rifle, and then they forgot about the fact that they'd already given you the plasma rifle. Like no one was really paying attention. The combat in Doom Eternal is great, because it always is. And then as you progress further and further, it becomes less great. You have very little ammunition for the majority of your guns. Like if I want to use a super shotgun, I got 12 shots with a fully upgraded character. And the idea is to make you want to try and use your chainsaw on enemies to get them to drop tons of ammo. And in fairness, they do drop a lot of ammunition. But again, some of the later fights, including later boss fights, can just be incredibly annoying because you're spending your time trying to juggle your cooldowns and run around looking for a zombie you can kill so you can please get some ammunition now. And some of the boss fights, man, they're just terrible. Like, Doom is a game that gives you a huge amount of mobility and resources so that you can use your tools at your disposal to attack weak points, and you can do stuff like set people on fire to get armor, use your chainsaw to get ammo, cola kills get you health. The whole thing is about playing how you want to get the resources you need to stay alive. And then regularly gives you enemies that, for instance, have a shield they can put up instantly that can block every single shot of yours, which I had a lot of trouble with because I didn't realise that the game had taught me the wrong way to kill them. Because your initial reaction is like, hey, I can dodge around really fast, I should probably try and dodge those attacks. But it's actually the wrong way to do it, because what you want to do is stand perfectly still, wait for them to attack, and then when they do attack, counter-attack. And it staggers them. But of course, like, that's counter to every single other enemy in the game, where you can just shoot them from however far away you are, because you can just shoot them. Some of the later boss fights include problems where the entire ground will hurt you when you stand on it. So there's enemies spawning regularly around you that will be harassing you with small amounts of damage regularly. The boss himself flying above the arena, who you have to focus on because their attacks go out very, very fast and do a lot of damage. And then also the floor hurts you if you stand on anything. Like, it's all just too much one after the other.
Warning. Slayer threat level at maximum.
Like, at its best is when it just gives you like a big arena filled with bad guys and the room to maneuver to then figure out how you're going to get out of a problem. Such as, say, oh no, there's a Baron of Hell chasing me, what am I going to do? Dodge his attacks, move in and blast him with a super shotgun. Like, that sort of thing is great. And when you get just sections of arenas Doom Eternal is fantastic.
Warning.
They just regularly get in the way of that with having to do platforming sections. And the platforming sections are not good. They clearly realised at some point that they weren't good, because they made the penalty for falling off a platform change from the last Doom game, where it would kill you, to just like losing 10% of your health. Because they figured that people were going to fail to do platforming sections. Like, there were several platforming puzzles I had to look up the internet to find the answer, because it was just impossible to see what way you're supposed to go. The music is phenomenal. The music is always the best part of a Doom game. The weapons are all pretty fun. They've got a variety of cool weapon mods. You can change your weapon mods on the fly now, which is really handy for when you need to change your weapon to something a little bit more impressive. And stuff like this, where you're just getting an arena full of monsters to kill, is utterly amazing. I wish there was just more of this. And you can replay missions. Here's an example of the weak point stuff changing as you go. So, there are enemies called Mancubus, which are these big fat guys down here, who you can shoot their guns off to make them significantly weaker. Except not this guy, he's got armour, so you can't shoot his guns off. The game recommends to you, through the in-game codex, which, you know, you get to read all about all the different demons if you want. Let's go to the Mancubus. Cyber Mancubus. There he is. Blood Punch will deal massive damage and destroy its armour. So if you go up to him and try and Blood Punch him, he slams the ground, setting it on fire, and on higher difficulties, because I have this on the easiest one for the sake of this review, basically kills you. Or takes you down to like a heartbeat away from death, to try and actively punch him as the game recommends to remove his armour. Like, it's real dumb. There's also the fact that you just can't remove his guns, unlike with the R version of the Mancubus. There's enemies who will spawn more enemies. The game is great at giving you tutorials about how to fight enemies, except for some of the more dangerous enemies in the game, like the arc bow, which it just doesn't bother to tell you how to fight, because why would you do that? So, I'm kind of getting sidetracked here and actually playing the game, because, you know, that's where you shoot demons are good fun. I don't recommend it for full price. Like, I got the Deluxe Edition, which includes Season Pass. I have the skin from the Deluxe Edition, but I don't actually own the Season Pass, because PSN's being weird with that. The Season Pass is going to give you some prequel missions down the line, but honestly, the couple of chapters of the game left me such a sour taste that I don't know if I'm even going to play those. There's also a competitive multiplayer mode where you get to play as demons, and it's just painful to try and play. Like, you need to be coordinated with friends to have any chance of doing anything in this, and so far all my friends are playing the campaign, so maybe I'll get a better review of that once I actually get a chance to play it with people. But it doesn't feel as good as I wanted it to. Like, combat's great, everything else around the combat, from the nonsensical story that has just random places and no real through threads, to stupid sequel bait nonsense, to characters being introduced who you never heard of and then disappearing again just as quickly. Everything around about the shooting, the platforming, the story is just bad. Which is a shame, because the shooting's really good, but I cannot recommend this game for 70 quid. Like, I got about 15 hours out of it, collecting every single collectible in the game, and some of the collectibles as well are pretty questionable. Like, there's cheat codes for stuff like, hey, you've got all the runes or all of the upgrades for your suit, which, if you've gotten all the upgrades and found all the runes, you found that cheat after that fact, so it gives you absolutely nothing. You know, just dumb stuff like that. So yeah, buy on sale, rent it or borrow it from a friend if you can, because it's well worth playing through the campaign to see how the combat evolves. But if you start feeling like it's just, there's no shame in it, or just stop playing. Because like after I've tried the multiplayer tonight, that's what I'm going to do.
Is firing.
Thanks for watching.